Good morning, gamers. Today is Friday. Happy Friday. I love Fridays. And it is February 3rd, 2017. And let's take a look at the gaming news of the day. Oh, by the way, this is Greylock, your host. And this is the show where we take 5 to 10 minutes to look at all the top stories in gaming each and every day. So with that, let's look at our first story here. And for the first story, let's look at some of the big releases coming out this month. And we'll start over at GameSpot.com. And we'll just touch the highlights here. We have Nio coming out on February 7th. Don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's what it looks like. And then we have For Honor coming out on February 14th. Now, I should back up. For those of you who are listening, Nio is a PS4 exclusive, while For Honor is multi-platform, PS4, Xbox One, PC. And that's For Honors coming out on February 14th. And then we have Halo Wars 2 coming out February 21st for the Xbox One and PC. And Horizon Zero Dawn, a game that gets a lot of buzz. It looks pretty cool too, coming out February 28th on the PS4. So that is the four big games, or 4 or 5 big games coming out this month. There's a full list of every game that's coming out, including WWE 2K17 and other games like Ride 2, Sniper Elite 4. If you want to see them all, head up to GameSpot.com. And with that, let's look at our next story. And this story is talking about the free Games with Gold for February. I know we already talked about this, but let me go through these again real quick. You can get Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time for free from the 1st through the 28th. And you can get Project Cars for free from February 16th through March 15th. Now, I highly recommend picking up Project Cars. Very good-looking game. On the 360 side, these are all backward compatible. You can get Monkey Island 2, February 1st through the 15th. And then The Force Awakens? From February 16th to the 28th. So, no, The Force Unleashed. Okay, so that's what you get on the Xbox. Let's take a look at what you can get this month on the PlayStation. Okay. Little Big Planet 3 for the PS4. That's a great game. Not a Hero for the PS4. Star Wars, Starwhal, Starwhal for the PS4 and PS3. Ninja Senki DX for the PS4 and PS Vita. Torquel, Torquel for the PS4 and PS Vita, and Anna Extended Edition for the PS3. Okay, so that's all the free games you can get this month on both Xbox and PlayStation. Now, the next story we're going to take a look at, is at GameSpot.com, and this is just some reaction from John Carmack about the ZeniMax lawsuit against Oculus. And he states a couple things here, and I'm sure this will go back and forth. Both sides feel like they're right and the other side's wrong. Of course, that's why they're in court. But John Carmack, he says, look, we never had the raw code, the raw C++ code from ZeniMax. And he says, for the expert to say that we use their copyrighted code just because the result is the similar, even though the code line by line is different, he says is ridiculous. And he also says that I never erased any proof. He says I may have formatted my hard drive, but I never erased any data. All of the data that was on those drives, I still have, and I turned over. So, and I'm paraphrasing to try to make it simpler and shorten the story, but long story short, I'm sure this is going to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So, in any case, make of it what you will. It'll be interesting in the end to see if these two entities can make a deal and not be at each other's throats. Okay, let's look at our next story here. Oh, this is about Titanfall 2. This is over at VG247.com, and Titanfall 2 has a new video out showing the upcoming live fire content drop, and this looks like a 6v6 pilot-only mode that only lasts like a minute. Very interesting, and it comes with 2 new maps. So if you're playing Titanfall 2 multiplayer or looking forward to it, this might be something you want to check out. Looks like a interesting take on a 6v6 type of first person shooter. Okay, what's the next story here? The next story is for you Final Fantasy 15 fans. In February, the game's getting an update, so the PS4 Pro can run it at 60 frames per second at 1080p. So, surprise, the original PS4, as powerful as it is, can't run it at 60 frames per second at 1080p. But that is what it is. 1080p at 60 FPS takes a lot of horsepower, and some games can't even get that to happen, even in the PS4, the original PS4. They need the Pro to do it. So, interesting. All right, let's move on to our next story. This is another VG247.com story, and this talks about a comment Nintendo made that the Switch lineup is deliberately weak, and this caught my eye. And basically, what they're saying was, we want to drip our titles out over the course of the year to keep the buzz and keep the buzz and keep ourselves in the news, but also to keep our customers engaged, to keep them wanting to come back to the Switch. So it's a very interesting, especially if you only had, a dozen or 18 games coming out this year. Yeah, probably makes sense to stagger them and not have them all come out at lunchtime. Probably have more people purchase them. I mean, if 8 games come out at the same time, you're probably only going to pick up 2. But if 2 games come out each month, you're more than likely to pick up more than just 2 games. So, yeah, not a bad strategy. It still makes it look a little weak with the launch lineup. But again, anybody buying in March is probably an early adopter. I mean, the masses will probably purchase the console in the holiday season. So I don't think it's a horrible strategy. Not at all. Okay, let's look at our next story here. Sony shipped 9.7 million PS4s in the last quarter. Wow, that was the biggest quarter ever. And, kudos to you, Sony, selling so many PS4s. This doesn't say if it's to the shelves or sell-through. I didn't see that in the report, but regardless, they're doing awesome. Congratulations, guys. I'm still an Xbox fan, but I'm a Sony hardware fan. I got Sony TV, Sony stereo, all kinds of Sony stuff. So kudos to you guys on the great sales numbers. And next story, we talked about, I think it was yesterday, we talked about the Fallout 4 visual upgrade that you could download, the 60 gig download you can get on Steam. Yeah, so apparently they recommend you have a 1080, an NVIDIA 1080 graphics card to run it. So that is the highest of the high. I mean, that is the most expensive, highest end card you could get. So that's kind of funny. They also say an i7, 8 gig of RAM. Those are, any high-end gaming rig is going to have those two things. But a 1080, really, I opted for the 1070 to save a couple $100. So I think that's odd. They also mentioned, or you could use the RX 490 Radeon from AMD, but that hasn't been announced yet. So they actually pulled that from the story. So very interesting. They also say if you do have that set up, you'll be able to play it at 1440p on a 4K set. So you can't even play it in 4K with that rig. Very interesting. All right, well, let's look at our next story here. I think we're getting towards the end. Yet that was the last story. So I got to run off and get a run in before work. So let me just wish you a very great Friday. I hope you have the weekend off and you get to have some good times. Hope you have a great day today at work. I'm going to try to. And looking forward to that 5 o'clock time where I get the punch out and come on home. So until Monday, I hope you have a great weekend. And if you like the show, if you enjoy it, please like it, subscribe, and share it with your friends. But until Monday, peace.